heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. The temperature, the heat index right now in McKinney is 10,000. What is that? 101,105. It's hot in McKinney.
What's up, League? It's your Commissioner Casey. Week 13 updates. Let's jump in. Top 4 clinch. Bottom 4 on the fringe. But all 8 teams have something to play for, so week 14 should be something to watch. Let's move on. Here are your percentages based on seed, okay? Something I'd like to point out, Mayo could still finish 3rd in the regular season. Something to watch. Grant looks like he might lock up top seed. Adam and Nick fighting it out, win and in scenario. Here is that consolidated down, top 4 teams clinch. I basically clinched. Thank you, Jamar Chase. Adam and BB, a thriller of a game last week. Christian Kirk goes down. You never root for an injury, but I was rooting for an injury. Jamar Chase popping off, ETN popping off. That puts Adam in a bad spot. He almost clinched last week, but now worse than a coin flip. But guess what, BB? You're still alive. Call the lifeguard. Here's that summarized. Oh. Say it enough with that. All right. Let's move on. Schedule comparisons. I think this is very interesting. This is basically saying, how would you do if you had someone else's record, someone else's strength of schedule? Adam had my schedule. He would be 2-11. He'd be the worst team in the league. All right. Same goes. If Keegan had Nick's schedule, Keegan would be the worst team in the league. If Keegan had Bradon's schedule, he'd be 1-12. This really shows if I had Grant's schedule, I'd be 10-3, best team in the league. That's the same for Nick. Also, if Nick had Keegan's schedule the whole year, he'd be 10-3. It just shows sometimes it's a coin flip. We'll go back over here. This is that summarized, so I'm taking this information. Boom, 1 seed. Who's getting the number 1 seed? It looks like Grant probably will hold on. I'll show you why. James in good position with points for. Dane also with points for positioning. But Keegan and Grant just need a win, and they clinch a top 2 seed. So we'll look for that moving forward. Now, the bottom boys, all right? Struggle bus over here. Let's be honest, Adam and Bradon probably going to miss. But it's the coin flip between Nick and Adam. Losers out. Here's that summarized with a crappy graph. Moving on to scenarios. So we'll start with Grant. Grant, how do you get a top 2 seed? You win. Okay? Simple as that, because even if Dane wins, Keegan wins, you know, doesn't matter down here. Grant, you locked up the top. All right, Keegan, how do you make it in? Simple. Win and you're in. Okay? Dane, you're going to need some help. Dane, you have points for over Grant and Keegan. So we'll give them both L's. Doesn't matter with this one. Dane, you just locked up the top seed, okay? James, similar story, win. And then you could afford Dane even winning, because as long as Keegan loses to Bradon, James, you're locking up a first round bye, okay? Now it gets interesting. If I win, I move up. I'm not shooting for a top 2 seed, so we'll ignore that. Adam, pretty simple, buddy. Win and in. Nothing else matters. Same with you, Posh, because he owns the tiebreak over you. Now let's talk about Bradon. Bradon, what you need a win, okay? Doesn't matter with this game here. You also need Nick to win, okay? And Dane to win. These are your 3 possibilities, but still you're not in. Why? Because you need to beat me by 27.4 points, okay? And then you've made the playoffs. You need to outscore me by 27.4 points. What's the likelihood of that? What's the likelihood of that? Well, basically, it's happened twice out of 13 weeks, okay? Twice out of 13 weeks. So if we do the odds, 50% chance of each of those matchups. So 50 times 50 times 50%. That's 12% chance that goes your way. Then you need to outscore me by 27.5 points, which, as we saw, has happened 2 out of 13 times. So you take 12% times that. That's less than 1.9%. Bradon, You're alive, dude. You're freaking alive. Nick and Adam, your matchup. How's this going to go? Well, head-to-head, Nick owns you 9-4, okay? Also, I'd like to point out bagels. Nick hasn't had a bagel all season. Adam, you have 4 of them. So, heavy favorite to Nick. But Adam, you can pull off the upset, all right? You can pull off the upset. Heck, maybe even you, Bradon. It would be a miracle if you did. Looking forward to the Sacco Bowl. Looking forward to the championship. Signing off, your commissioner. See you next time.